What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads. I am Big Brother Boss, aka the Funky Monk, and with me, as always, is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. What's going on, Miss Candy?
Nothing, watching my Lakers lose. And then they playing whoop that trick because they in Memphis, so they playing whoop that trick. And I'm like, oh, but I'm like, get them whooped.
Right, for real, y'all. And y'all, it is the night before Kushmas, or aka 420. We are here tonight, and before we get into it, make sure y'all go ahead and share. Make sure you get your friends over here. We are about to blaze. Let's go ahead and blaze.
Okay, let me get my stuff together here, man. Ain't it follow? Here we go.
For real.
I should have packed that bowl better. It wasn't giving what it was supposed to.
What you got in Baby Yoda tonight?
Baby Yoda, it's called OG, simply. Mm-hmm. So I think it's some kind of OG. I got it from the local weed man. So like it's probably an offshoot of like Kush or OG Gas or
OG Gas. Yeah, it's indica. It's indica leaning, and it's a nice hybrid. They call it gas normally. It's a cross between Venom OG and I believe what's the other strain? Is it Humboldt OG? It's an it's actually a pure indica. So it's one of those things where it's a pure indica. I see that you gave it 4 blunts. Why 4 blunts this time?
I did. I don't know why I gave it exactly 4 blunts. It didn't really give me. I think the other day I did have a headache, but I was probably because I was drinking. So, but it did knock me out. It put me to sleep. So, and that's what I needed at the time. So I might need to up that a little bit. I might need to up that to maybe a 4.5.
She said 4.5. We're gonna go ahead.
Now that I'm rethinking it. Yeah, I might need to go up a little bit on the rating.
Hey, I feel you. What I have tonight is my classic Blue Dream. Mm-hmm. I believe this one is from Kind Farms. I gave it 4.5. Blue Dream is actually Blue Dream is a hybrid. Most of the time it does lean sativa. It does. Some folks say it's 50-50. Blue Dream is one of my go-to strains. If I'm just kicking it around the house, if I'm out with friends and I'm not gonna be going anywhere a while, I'll fuck with some Blue Dream. It allows you to relax. Plus, it still keeps your head not as foggy, so I can keep conversations, watch a movie, that type of thing, without wanting to fall asleep. Depending on how tired I am, it will help me fall asleep. But it also gives you that nice euphoric feeling, like you just walking on a cloud. I love that feeling when I'm smoking or when I'm out with friends. Good strain for sex. I'm gonna say that it's a good strain for sex.
Blue Dream, I have to get some of that.
Blue Dream. Normally, you can catch Blue Dream at any of your dispensaries. Excuse me. I gave it 4.5 blunts.
Okay.
Because there is something in here. Gives me a little cough. Normally, it's smooth. Blue Dream is a good beginner brand for those who just getting into it. 420 is tomorrow. It's just one of those things. Now, our strain of the week is not, I repeat, is not for beginners, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now. The strain of the week is not for beginners. Our strain of the week this week, y'all, is Khalifa Kush.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. It is an indica hybrid. And I'll get to that later in a second about here in Vegas. Now it's they say it's a hybrid, but it's indica. It's definitely indica brand. I mean indica leaning. It's sponsored, or should I say endorsed by Wiz Khalifa the rapper. It has
Mm-hmm.
a very strong buzz. It's used to treat anxiety and chronic pain, but like I said, it is not recommended for beginners because it has some powerful effects. Um,
Okay. Some
and
powerful niggas.
I'm gonna tell you, I've had some Khalifa Kush from California versus the stuff that's here in Nevada that you get at Reef exclusively. I don't like the Reef stuff. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The stuff that's made
Okay.
on the farm in California, that's good. You know, I'm not an indica person, but that's good. That is our strain of the week. Uh, let's see here. And David Key said he got some Uncle Snoop tonight. How's that smoke? He said that's fire.
What that is.
So yeah, that's our strain of the week. Now my
I'm gonna need some more of
420 strain tomorrow. I'm gonna start off with some Tahoe OG. I got that rolled up. I got an eighth of that rolled up in a blunt. That's gonna be the blunt I smoke on mainly tomorrow. But I will be fucking with some Daydream tomorrow because I plan on trying to stay high, but I also got to work tomorrow night.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll be smoking Daydream, and who knows, y'all, I might pop on the live and smoke with y'all. So keep an eye out for that.
I might wind up somewhere. Oh, I know too many people that smoke, so I might pop
Mhm.
up somewhere and wind up on a live somewhere. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
420Z.
Yeah, I might go live. I did back during quarantine on 420. I lit up for 420 on the East Coast, 420 in the Midwest, 420 in the mountain,
Listen,
420.
that's
Man,
what you should do as a seasoned smoker. I feel like that's not, that's how you should bring 420 in. 420 a.m., 420
yes,
p.m., 420 in Beijing.
exactly. It's like when that clock strikes 20, whatever it is, it's 420
Every
somewhere.
hour, really. 20 on the hour, every hour is 420 somewhere.
Exactly. So for those who don't know, 420 is the National Weed Day unofficially. It's a lot of specials going on out there. A lot of places are having specials, Green Day specials, is what they're trying to call them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's if your dispensary is always going to have a good special going. Who else is going to be running specials? I know there's a lot of food specials tomorrow, so definitely
Ooh,
y'all. Huh?
munchie box, a bunch of
Yeah, the
munchie
Munchie
boxes.
Box. They got the Munchie Box at Jack in the Box all day long, though.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they
that
do.
Munchie Box hit hard as fuck too.
They do,
But
especially when
I'm
you're
a,
drunk.
I'm a little upset because the last time I went to Jack in the Box, I say you get 4 onion rings. They gave me like 3 little ass onion rings and 1 big one. Man, I was so fucked up. I was so fucking pissed.
I would have
I
been
was
hot too.
so
The
you
fuck?
know I hate that shit. But
Yeah.
y'all, let's get to a couple of things here. We do have an update on the Shankella Robinson case. Go ahead with that, Candy.
Their U.S. prosecutors are basically dropping the case. There's due to lack of evidence. They don't have enough evidence to
Mhm.
support what was the initial autopsy, I believe.
Yeah.
They said that there's no evidence that her neck was broken.
Hmm.
So they can't really find these people either. Um,
Yeah.
to it's not much of a case when you don't have people to when you don't have the people. So
Yeah.
I think that but they're also telling me that that doesn't mean that Mexico's not gonna pursue
Yes.
charges. So
Exactly.
just they are dropping the case, which is annoying, but I
Mhm.
mean they really can't. Hey Tony,
Hey,
um,
Tony, what's up? Yeah,
there's
I
not
get
really.
it. A lot of people are disappointed, but also, like I was telling you before the show, that's just the U.S. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
there wasn't enough evidence for them to compel using the treaty to charge somebody because they feel Mexico has a strong. Most of the time, they feel the other country has a strong enough case and will lay out charges for
Yeah.
extradition. Um, so
Yeah.
just because they didn't do it here in the U.S. doesn't mean they're not going to do it in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what the U.S. was looking for was they were trying to look for any connection, say like a text before saying, "Hey, we gonna kill her," any type of conspiracy to or even afterwards. You know what I mean? Because if they got hit, if they're hiding a crime, they can get in trouble too here in the U.S. because
Yeah.
they're on our soil. They're basically trying to figure out what can they do to them here on U.S. soil. Um,
What can they
it's a
charge
real
them with?
sad it's a real sad story all the way around. It's one of those tragic things that it's we want people to be held accountable, but I'm sure the streets will take care of those folks if they find out who. I mean, when they know who they are. I know some of these people. I do know. I've heard because I can't confirm that they've moved to different places now, trying to you know start a new
Escape.
life. You know
Uh, yeah.
that type of thing. Rest in peace to Shanquella. I know some folks are disappointed, but understand Mexico still has the right to press charges. That's the U.S., not Mexico.
Right.
Um,
They do.
Also dealing with tragedy. We, on April 13th, y'all, and I'm just gonna come out here. 16-year-old Ralph Yarl um, had been tasked by his parents to go pick up his siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and Ralph was driving the car. He didn't have his phone. He didn't have his GPS. He just knew where the address was. He pulls up on the address, goes up and knocks on the door. Um, an old man came out, didn't say anything to him, but you better not come around here anymore. Shot him in his head, and then shot him two other times once he hit the ground. Luckily, the young man survived,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy he did survive this tragic shooting. Um, and he's at home. He's at home now, recovering.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna bring the racial thing into it for the shooting itself. What really broke my heart in addition to the shooting was the fact that he had to go to three houses before he got help. Um,
Yeah.
and even then, the third time, they made him get down on. They made him get down. Um, they made him get down on, face down on the ground with his palms up, and he had passed out by then. It was done by it, the shooting was perpetrated by a man named Andrew Lester. He's 85 years old, or 84, I believe. I can't. One of the two. And he went to court today. He pleaded not guilty. One of the things I wish they didn't do was say black teenager, white homeowner, because I don't care across the board. That shouldn't have happened to anybody. He It was a
It should.
mistake. He walked to the wrong door. It was basically a difference between street and avenue, I believe, something like that. He was only a block away from where he was supposed to be. He was one block over, and of course, this old man is claiming stand your ground, which people really
Well,
need to look at. Yeah, stand your ground. That's what he's talking about.
yeah. I mean, again, he going back to the fact that he is an 84-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
This is still the South. He very much grew up in a time where, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's not making excuses for him. That's just what a lot of people kind of um that's why people are trying to understand why that happened. Um, because he's supposed to be this, old man that's probably still he just saw a black kid on this front door
Yeah.
and just blew him away.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that who knows what he thought,
Yeah, that's the
He's
thing.
not
Who
gonna
knows what he
make it.
was thinking? Yeah.
He's not gonna make it in prison, even if he does go to prison. He's not gonna make. He's 84 years old. Like,
I'm a,
even if that is how he was raised, the man's
I
84.
want to talk about that too. The U.S. seems to be one of the only places that they don't put old people in prison.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I thought they did. I mean, I wouldn't say.
Well,
I
some
wouldn't
people
say.
they do. I mean, they put Bill Cosby in. Let's be clear, but there's, like Germany is still hunting down Nazis, right? And they done found some of them. Some of them is like 100 years old, but you know what? They go into prison. They put them
They
in
go to
prison.
prison.
So if he's found guilty of what he does, I want him to go to prison. I want him to be held. I want him to be held accountable.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the fear in somebody coming to your house unannounced, but like you can't just that doesn't give you the right to just compete with somebody. Like you can't, like he didn't even have to open the door. Like just you didn't have to open the door.
Yeah,
Let it
I
close.
get it.
Could have yelled out, "Hey, you got the wrong house, nigger," or something. I mean, whatever. Like you didn't have to
anything.
You didn't have to shoot the little boy.
There's also another case. There's also another case out of New York. Similar circumstances. These people were lost. They pulled up into the wrong driveway. When they realized they were in the wrong driveway, they backed up. But the homeowner came out shooting at them.
Yeah, like why are y'all shooting at people? Like what?
Exactly. It hit this young lady. Thing was, it was so rural. Their cell phones weren't working, so they had to drive 5 minutes away before they could even get a signal to call 911, and she died on the way. This guy was in New York. He was arrested immediately. Same thing, claiming he didn't know who it was, so he just went out shooting.
Why is that the first thing that happens? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's the first thing that's on people's mind. Like I mean, people make mistakes. People, people do stuff like that.
My problem is he's claiming the same thing, self-defense. I'm trying to figure this out.
For what though?
Yeah, for what?
For what?
I agree wholeheartedly. You should be able to protect your property and your space. But in both these cases, no one was invading anything. Young Ralph wasn't trying to get into the guy's house. This young lady in New York, let me get her name real quick. Kaylin Gillis. I'm sorry. Her name is Kaylin Gillis. She's 20 years old. And in her case, they had just turned into the wrong driveway. There wasn't even they didn't even walk up to the door or anything before this guy came out shooting. Same thing. I do hope this man is held accountable if he did it and he goes to prison. I just, and she unfortunately was killed because she couldn't get help.
You could just turn into somebody's driveway and by mistake. Even just to bust a bitch. Sometimes, we thinking that in California, the streets are small out there.
Yeah.
But you can't just do a 3-point. You gotta pull in somebody's driveway and back out. Imagine doing that. But that doesn't call for to lose your life over. Like, right? Yeah. I agree with Tony. That doesn't warrant somebody coming out and just shooting you. Like, what were you doing to even think that was a logical? Like, what type of fear are you living in?
Exactly. And that's my thing too. What kind of fear are you living in that you just gotta walk out busting on somebody?
Are y'all watching? Y'all watching too much YouTube? Like too many YouTube conspiracy.
Yeah,
You just start here now.
exactly.
You all the way over here with it. Like you all the way off the charts to the left. Like
Exactly.
what do you
Exactly.
think is coming to get you? You obviously don't get a lot of visitors, so
Exactly.
I
But
don't get it.
I do hope Ralph recovers very soon. And my condolences to the parents and family of
Yeah,
Caleb, um, who they lost a daughter. For me, to me, is a whole different is a
not for
dumbass thing,
something
you
stupid.
know. But on to other news, y'all. We do have an update on Jonathan Majors. From what Candy is reporting, he lost his endorsements. Also, he was dropped by his PR firm. What did you think about that?
Yes, Mr. Majors. I just it's sad, because I did like Jonathan Majors, the characters that he played. I liked him as an actor, and I
Mhm,
think it's unfortunate that it's the society we live in today. That we were talking a little earlier in pre-pro,
mhm.
uh, that um, Disney hasn't come out and said anything. They haven't dropped him either. But his
Yes.
management team seems to want to get ahead of something, is
Mhm.
my thinking. We know, like in Hollywood, they do this kind of stuff all the time. If
Yes.
you anything that your name is associated that it looks
Mhm.
that could potentially go bad,
Yeah.
um, they're automatically in Disney. I mean, it's Disney, so
Yes.
they're not associating with any sort of that thing because we were kind of talking
Mhm.
about the comparisons between Ezra Miller and
Yeah. Well,
uh,
also Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
know.
Johnny Depp, like that kind of tanked his career too. Like he hasn't really
Yeah.
been able to recover from those kinds of
Oh, he's
allegations.
gonna recover. He's gonna recover.
I mean, he is, but it's not. A lot of people still don't fuck with Johnny Depp because
Yeah. Well,
behind
he
that,
missed.
even though it was
Let's be
proven
clear.
to,
When it comes to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, they both were pieces of shit.
yeah, they both to each
They,
other.
yeah, to each other. They both were pieces of shit to each other. However,
I
I'm
get
more upset
everything
that
that
she
they did.
pulled that card
Mm.
and made it automatically. We as Americans, and I'm not saying we personally, we put her out there as, oh, poor you, Johnny is an asshole, this and that. But then I realized Johnny only smokes weed. So if Johnny's being abusive, Johnny is doing more than weed. Cause me and I guess I can only speak for me rather. I don't get a
I
fighting
mean,
bone in my body when I'm high.
yeah, most people that smoke weed are pretty chill people anyway. Like, or they smoke it to stop themselves from being violent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
Except
I
Tony. Except Tony.
kind yeah, except
Except
Tony.
Tony.
Tony
Yeah.
gets angry around weed.
Yeah. Tony get angry, and if he does get physical, he might do something nicer, but not
Right,
necessarily. It's gonna be rude, but he might be a
right.
little bit more nice about it. Anyway, let's
But
roll
yeah,
it back.
we just giving Tony a hard time.
Yeah.
But
Let's roll it back to Jonathan Majors
yeah,
though.
I
I
go ahead.
once again, if he did it, I hope he's held accountable. I understand that they have to do this dropping and stuff. I hope I hope that if he's held accountable, that goes that way. But if they determine that he was good and he gets off, let's just move on too. You know what I mean? Let's move on. He still has a good career ahead of him. I hope. You know what I
Also,
mean?
too, like
But
they.
you were also talking about that others have come forward too.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. So I was just reading a little bit earlier before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, and we've seen this happen before when, there's a prominent male figure who gets called out for this sort of thing. It's like they circle the wagons and find everybody from, you
Mm-hmm.
know, from fifth grade
Yeah.
on to, come and tarnish this man's character. Yeah, I mean, basically paying for something. Everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie off of things like that. So, we just want to take that into consideration too. Like, I'm not making excuses for this man's behavior, but I think there were some things that his management or his PR team could have done a little better. Like his text messages, I didn't think helped his case at all. Even though she is actively saying, "I told them this, I told them that you didn't do that, I told them it's giving either very much they're telling her to shut up, um, because this is going to affect you too. Like you're not
Yeah.
getting, you're fumbling your bag as well, because this is your
Exactly.
boyfriend, but
Mhm.
also too, it's giving, he might have coerced her to say those things just because,
Exactly.
she probably was upset and she probably did
Mhm.
initiate, something, um, but it's looking like, it could be that too. I'm mad,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna ruin your career.
Hmm.
So, and there's not a thing you can do about it because I'm white and you're black,
Yeah.
and you're, you know,
Hmm.
they're gonna
And
believe me over.
that's crazy that in 2023 we got to look at it like that. I'm white, you're black, so we'll see what happens when the police gets here, regardless of who called the police. I really, it's really upsetting that we have to think like that nowadays because we do know that police have been on top of police being part of the system. We also
Hmm.
now have people who know once they call the police that they make, no matter what, they can lie and still get out. But something these people don't understand is that sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times, if you make that call, we're not thinking that when the police come, we're going to get it cleared up.
Yeah,
We're thinking about losing our life. Like this is, to us, that's like a death threat. I can sincerely say it's a death threat. You know, if somebody calls the police on you for false pretenses and they're white and you're black, I'm gonna tell you right now. To me, that's a death threat.
yeah,
You know, um, but like I said, I hope it comes out on the positive. But if it does have a negative outcome, same way he should be held accountable.
he
Not
very
gonna
much.
say I hope he's a. I should say I hope because we know how the system works.
Yeah, I don't. It's just so you don't know what to believe anymore. So many things.
Mm-hmm.
They can paint so many narratives. Like
Exactly.
just you really genuinely have no clue
Mm-hmm.
what's what anymore with a lot of these things that go on. I just hope that the truth comes out, which whatever they want to be the truth will be the truth. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I think it's telling that um, they're just trying to get ahead of it. Again, Disney hasn't confirmed anything. They hadn't said anything. He
Yeah,
hasn't gone
they
to court
won't.
yet.
They won't.
So
They won't until stuff comes out in court. They won't. They won't
yeah. So,
until it
but
comes out in
prayers
court.
to everybody in that situation. For
Hmm.
for the young lady who we still don't, who still is nameless. We still don't know her name.
Yeah,
So I think that's kind of telling too. I don't know.
it is what it is. Now you brought this story. This story it seems hilarious to me about police robo, and these are robot dogs. I should have said robo dogs.
Yes, robot pets. Y'all got all these rats in New York City, and y'all want humans to catch the rats, but y'all want robots,
Hmm.
pets to catch the humans. I don't know. But yeah. So New York, the police chief, the current, I believe she's a woman,
Hmm.
just came out and introduced the new New York City police officers
Hmm.
and their robots and their animals. So,
Hmm.
I mean, you ain't gonna be able to throw a rock or kick that motherfucker. I know that. So,
Exactly. It's 400 pounds.
it's not a human. You can't shoot this motherfucker or nothing. Probably, like
Mm-hmm.
I understand what they're trying to do, but I feel like you lose the human factor
Mm-hmm.
when we go this route, and when we're not only that, we're taking jobs away from more jobs away
Mm-hmm.
from people, but
Yeah.
people are people. They're not robots. They don't have a capacity to just be efficient at a job, and
Yeah.
but you kind of need that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The police been shooting people, so they
Yeah.
act like they don't know how to not shoot a motherfucker and just
Yeah.
de-escalate a situation.
Yeah.
But
And
you are also have to be careful for your life too as an officer.
mm-hmm. Now, I also was just reading that the reason they were talking about weapons on the dog is for what they were talking to Robo Dog, and when they were talking about weapons, they are talking about in cases where they have a standoff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That's what they're
yeah,
saying here. They're saying it's not gonna be used to patrol. It's gonna be used to in risky situations, is what they said. I don't know what a risky situation would
I
be.
don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, I'm sure they don't want it on the beat because like
Now
a
they
motherfucker
also
might
have
line
that.
up.
They also have those cone-shaped robots, and those are everywhere now.
Yeah,
With the cameras and things on them. What they're used to catch small crimes. They have a GPS tracker for stolen cars inside of them, just in case they're rolling around and they see a car that's stolen. They can do it and deploy, police.
yeah. They're
As
supposed to
long
be
as you don't start.
introducing something like that on the strip too, like a
Mhm.
bouncer. He's supposed to be a robot bouncer. I think we talked about that a couple times.
Yeah, that was at the strip club over at Sapphire.
Yeah, gonna grip you up. You ain't gonna be able to get up out of that. So
Exactly. But yeah, the robot, I've seen like the cone shaped robot. That shit is funny as fuck. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
like what
Mhm. But you all right? Does it? I don't think it'll take jobs the way people would think. We're not gonna
yeah.
have RoboCops walking the street. I can see Robo Dogs sort of like patrolling, but I was also thinking some of these police officers can't even control regular bio dogs.
Yeah, they can't. I don't know. I see it going either way. Like
Mhm.
I feel like with the AI that they have now.
Mhm.
I was talking about the I don't know if you saw that robot that was at a convention, and they was programming him to do a job
Mhm.
like what he would consider a slavery job. So the robot already has its own mind to think what that is for him.
Mhm.
So he was doing it, and he had already ran through in 5 minutes. It took him to run through the whole algorithm of what this is going to equal. This is what I got to do for and the motherfucker just
He's
deactivated.
like,
He was
nah, I'm
like,
good.
no, he was, I'm not doing this. He said after 5 minutes, he just picked up a box,
Mhm.
backed up slowly, like he was like, oh, I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life. Yeah, let me go ahead and deactivate. So that's literally
Yeah.
what it did. And it's
He'd
like
be
a
like, yo,
robot.
dog, I quit.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. After 5 minutes, he had ran through all his algorithms to try to find out a different way that's gonna make him happy to do this job, and he couldn't come up with nothing. So he just, so and humans been doing it for years. So I
Hmm.
just thought that was, I thought that was interesting. Um, how the AI is, it's like the when the what is it when the teacher becomes a student kind of thing. Like we're responsible for programming the AI, but the AI teaches itself
Hmm.
to better itself.
Yes.
So at some point, it's going to be better than the maker of it. To me,
Yeah.
at this point.
Plus, it has access to the internet and archives. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it has a lot of information too. Um,
Yeah,
but we can go on about conspiracy theories all day long
yeah,
about
we
this.
can talk about that. Yeah, that's. But
But
I
yeah,
just
I
that's we're
I
not
believe
far from.
I believe they should be able to control AI, have some sort of fail safe built in. But if it's artificial intelligence, it's gonna know that after a while.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's what
figure.
it's gonna find out it has a kill switch, and it's gonna
Mhm.
deactivate them. motherfucker. So, like, okay, so now, now we're like, well, how does this motherfucker learn how to deactivate itself? And now we
Exactly.
won't be able to control it. So,
Yes. And going from AI to just idiots,
yeah.
bro. Remember, we talk about it all the time about how some of the younger generation is just doing shit for clout, to prove shit to people, to say, hey, I can do this. Now, for those who do not know, last week it was discovered that Pentagon or classified Pentagon spy documents
Oh,
were
yeah.
leaked onto the internet. And in doing so, they figured out who did it. It was a 21-year-old in the National Guard. His name is Jack Texiera, and he lives in Massachusetts. He went on Discord and put it on a Discord server for the whole world to see. Now, the irony in this, y'all, is that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the CEO of TikTok was talking to Congress about secrets being sold to China and information and
Yeah.
things like that. And this kid, I shouldn't say kid, this man was out here putting these documents online, and he wasn't being paid for it, y'all. He said he had access. They said, per their investigation, people were talking about conspiracies. He said he had access. They said you bullshitting. And he was like, nah, I ain't
I'll
bullshitting.
show you.
I'll show you. He did it for clout because he didn't want to seem like a liar. He didn't get paid. I'm like, you giving the shit away for free. And y'all had the CEO
You
of
could have
TikTok.
leveraged them national security secrets for billions. Do you know how many countries want that kind of
Mhm.
information? You could have been sitting pretty in Uzbekistan or wherever fuck and a billionaire.
Mhm.
And you just, like, but that's the internet now. That's
Mhm.
if it didn't happen for everybody to see, it didn't happen at all. And I think we very much live in this
Mhm.
generation now where everybody just they get on the internet crying,
Yeah.
like they get on the internet telling all their secrets, that
Mhm.
he molested my son or he has saved my son. Man, what are you
Mhm.
telling us? What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
We can't call the police. You gotta call the police. Like what
Mhm.
that and
Exactly.
that just blows my mind. It blows
Mhm.
my mind how people just come on social media and just, like you use it as a tool to expose people, but
Yeah.
like, but for real life things that real people need to be, you don't need to come here and do this. You
Mhm.
need to, they be killing people online now. Like,
Yeah.
the lady killed her husband for nothing.
Exactly. Just
Y'all
it's
go online for
crazy.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Mhm.
I don't want to be out there like that. I'm glad I grew up in a generation where I don't. I very much like some of my life to remain private
Mhm.
and not
Well,
exposed.
that's the whole irony of the situation because he wasn't selling secrets. He was just trying to
You
prove to people
trying
he
to
had
prove,
access to it.
okay, but now you don't have no access to it no more because you're a dumbass and you
Yeah, now
put
you're
that,
gonna go to jail. But
yeah, for
also,
treason.
he was part of a group that is anti-government. You know what I mean?
So he was
Also,
told,
they say there may be some links to white supremacy, but I'm not. I'm not. That's all just
oh, you
conjecture.
a dumbass. Why would you? And you gonna risk it all for Discord? You could have just.
On
I mean, if
Discord.
you were
I
gonna
don't even know
do
how to
that,
use Discord.
what? Why would you put that on any sort of website? Any sort of
Exactly.
they know exactly what we're looking at every day. That you can put that little incognito if you want to. That don't stop a damn
For
thing.
free
If they,
99.
yeah,
And
that
I do think there's another person who was arrested also, but I would
mm,
actually have to look at actually have to look
I
at
saw
that.
that too. I think it was somebody else. One was a U.S. National Guard, and somebody else was, I think, in some kind of government where the it was classified information that they had basically put on. But for what? Like you're going,
Exactly.
like you're never be able to work. They're gonna be on your ass from now on.
Yeah. The funny part about, not the funny part, but something else that happened as a result is that they found military schematics for for Ukraine. That was all over the internet. Um, but what other countries was really concerned with is that our allies saw spy information about them and their military ops and their things. So imagine, if you will, that your friend's text messages got leaked out onto the internet. They accidentally did that. And you found out that they was talking about you, and this is supposed to be one of your buddies, one of your ace boon coons.
Like,
and all of a sudden, you got all this shit. Like, it's like, oh my god. And
I don't
like,
have to, that's what happened to me. So now I very much know how
the U.S. The U.S. can't. The U.S. can't say, "Nah, I was just kidding." Nah, they can't say that. It's like, "Nah, we got receipts."
No, I didn't mean it like that. You know, no.
Yeah,
it's like how I had said was.
Exactly. What had happened was.
That's why we
funny. I said, so you just not. That was the funny part. Is that the U.S. got contingency plans against y'all. It's like they know how to destabilize your government, and they put it in documents. And that was leaked onto the internet. I'm thinking to myself, like you said, there ain't shit you can say.
You can't say anything. Like, so this is how y'all felt. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
But I feel like every country, even countries who are allies are like that. Like, I feel like everybody got some intel. Like, we got to keep it cool with these motherfuckers, but.
Yeah.
Especially with this country. Like this country, it's a lot of our friends that's turning into our enemies now. They ain't fucking with us no more.
Exactly. So. It makes you think of the old Houdini song. Friends.
Listen at them. We losing ours at an alarming rate. And we have the best military, but that don't mean shit if you're the only person that's fighting. Like we're supposed to have. Exactly. It would be nice to have people on your side. Like you can't just be out here by yourself.
Exactly.
So, I don't know anything about that. So I'm never been in the military.
For real. Now, y'all, we about to get to where is that title? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Sorry, y'all. Now, we're gonna move to this part of the show, y'all. Spoiler alert. It's where we talk about what we've been watching on TV. We go to the movie, something that we just was watching. And like I said, it's a spoiler alert because we're high and we might just start talking about shit. Now, this week I watched something that there's this controversy going on about it now. I got to look into it. However, this new Netflix show called Beef. It's on Netflix, 10 episodes, about 40 minutes long. Starring Stephen Yeun and Ali Wong as two people involved in a road rage incident and how it just spirals out of control. And that's the best way to describe it. Huh?
I think Keisha's telling me I need to see it because that's right up my alley because I do have road rage.
You do. I believe you'll like it. I gave it 5 blunts. It was entertaining. It was a roller coaster ride. Almost every episode was like, oh shit. You're like, man, this shit is fucking crazy. And I can tell you right now, smoke. But I would have enjoyed this. I would have enjoyed this series sober. Don't get me wrong. I would have still gave it 5 blunts whether I was sober or high. But it is a cool show to watch. Watch while you're high. I loved it, y'all. So definitely check that out. Definitely check that out. There was some controversy involving excuse me. There was a controversy involving one of the stars of the show and some comments they had made on a podcast. in the past. I don't know how far in the past, but it was talking about SA. It was talking about misogyny. So I really want to deep dive into it. I heard about that this morning. Um, but I'm telling you right now, that doesn't take away from the show. Like I always say, if that guy is an asshole and he done the shit that he's done, hold him accountable for it. Call it a day. But this
Yeah.
show itself, Beef, on Netflix, y'all, damn good. I love
Okay.
that shit. Yeah. Now,
Okay.
what was you watching?
So I watched this show this past weekend. It's called. It's an 80-minute documentary style movie. It's
Mm-hmm.
called No Man Beyond This Point, and it's more of a satirical kind of um, play on like living in an alternate universe where um, men are dying out. So, a lot of times women will say, well, we don't need men to procreate. We can just go to the
Mm-hmm.
sperm bank. So this actually kind of happens in a roundabout way where
Yeah.
women are, um, the male sperm isn't able to penetrate the egg anymore, and the
Mm-hmm.
egg is now evolving to where it doesn't need sperm to
Mm-hmm.
produce the child.
Yes.
So they just kind of go in this theory that what happens when men don't exist. What happens
Exactly.
if the country is just went ran by women.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these male support these grassroots male uh, support groups pop up all over and trying to fight and get their rights back. And the males that are it's said, I want to believe, in maybe the early 2000s or late 90s, I want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
um so for over from the 60s to the 80s, there were no male children that were born. One year,
Mm-hmm.
there was one male child that was born that year, and the movie takes place kind of from his point of view, and he's
Mm-hmm.
37 in the movie at that point. So it talks about his experience being one of the youngest men ever on the planet and
Mm-hmm.
how that feels for him, and
Okay.
how the older men, because they're still men, but they're dying off. So
Uh-huh.
there's generations of women
Mm-hmm.
who don't know, who lived without males, without
Yeah.
male influence, without patriarchy, without,
Mm-hmm.
you start to see what that looks like in practice.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very kind of smart,
Mm-hmm.
basically saying that, yeah, well, this is, y'all keep saying y'all don't want these men. This is what happens when there
Okay.
aren't any men.
Mm-hmm.
So, or there's very few. And the ones that are here are too old to, start a family or
Mm-hmm.
populate or anything like that. So I think it was really good. It was also funny too.
Uh-huh.
So I gave it, I believe, 4.5 out
Uh-huh.
of 5 months. It was funny. It was funnier than I thought. It's on Prime. I
Uh-huh.
think it's on Prime. But go definitely take a look. I didn't want to give too much of it away, but it's kind of tongue in cheek saying that, okay, well, we
Uh-huh.
do each other. Men and women do need each other at
And
that
it's the movie was made in 2015, so
point.
we'll see
Yeah.
how that plays out. It's I know it's making a resurgence, so we're gonna see what the incels have to say about it soon.
Right.
even,
Yeah. See
even,
that. See, this is what we've been saying the
I
whole
know
time.
exactly.
Yeah. So,
Like
but definitely
fellas,
take
calm down,
a
fellas.
calm down. Because there was a good reasons why they showed it from both sides, gave it very logical viewpoints from both sides
Yeah.
on, that.
Hmm.
So
Now,
it's good.
now before the show, we were also talking about what we had eaten this week. You said you had some. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Some spam musabi from
Okay.
I've been, there's an L&L Hawaiian spot down the street, and every
Hmm.
now and again I just want something different than, you know
Hmm.
normally what I've been having to eat. So I
Okay.
had some a while back. Somebody had brought to a party that I was at, and I was like, "Oh, these are really good." Now I'm not a big spam person.
Uh huh.
I'm big, I eat pork, I eat bacon and things like that. But
Mhm.
and I remember having spam when my grandma used to make it or buy it or what have
Yeah.
you. But I like it cooked or seared or whatever they do to it.
Mhm.
But it was very delicious. Um, the only thing that I didn't like is it does have a little bit more. I would like less rice, because they
Uh-huh.
make it sticky rice. Um,
Mhm.
I feel like it fills me up quicker.
Yeah.
So maybe just a little less rice. That's why I gave it a
Mhm.
4. But it's a good little snack. They're not expensive. They're like 2.35 for one.
Mhm.
So you can get a few of them and eat up. It's a good little on the go snack and
Okay.
not like McDonald's or anything like that.
Okay. So it really is sort of like an appetizer because I've
Yeah,
had like I haven't had spam musubi. I've had katsu chicken musubi.
yeah. See,
And
I haven't had that, but they have that there too.
yeah. So it's still sort of like the same thing. Like you're right though. It does have a lot of sticky rice on it, and it can stick to your stomach. When it comes
Yeah,
to, when it comes to musubi though, it does vary, especially with L&L barbecue, which one you go to.
it does.
Because I've had one where it was very thick. Then I had one where it was just like a thin patty, which one I prefer. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But it's pretty good.
yeah, I like
Like
that.
I said, I haven't had the spam. Plus, they've been doing a lot of things like adding flavors to spam. In the process, not in the can, but when it comes out the can. Y'all
Yeah.
seen the commercials? They're making fried rice with spam. Y'all
It's
seen
like
it?
hot dogs and whatever other meat. Like you really don't know what they put in this food now, but it's like
Mhm.
they make it to taste. They can
Exactly.
manufacture flavors now without even having the food. So.
Now, I myself, I had the Entenmann's chocolate chip ice cream sandwich, chocolate chip
Mm,
cookie ice cream sandwich. Basically, it's an ice cream sandwich with two Entenmann chocolate chip
mm,
cookies. If y'all don't
it's
know about Entenmann's is an old school brand.
old school
Oh man, but it is so good. If
fire.
you if you catch that pound cake, I'm
That
so high right
chocolate cake,
now. Uh-huh. Yes.
them
Now,
cookies, chocolate chip cookies. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm having a
yes,
moment.
yes, yes. These things were good. The only reason I didn't give it a 5, the only reason it's not a 5 is that they're small. They're made from small
Mm,
cookies, and
okay.
it's only 4 to a pack. If I get the
Oh,
munchies, oh, I'm fucking all 4 of them up, and I'm
almost at the same time.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, I'm smashing all of them. I'm smashing the whole box in one sitting. Um, but yeah, they're small. That's the only reason I gave it 4 blunts. Which y'all know, some of y'all younger folks don't know about Entenmann's brand.
yeah.
Man,
That used to be the brand. If your mama bought my grandma used to buy. If somebody in your family bought Intimate's home,
they
them
bougie.
chocolate glazed donut,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
I would say
that
it was
was kind
always
of
the
a higher
bougie.
end brand.
It was always like the bougie
Yeah, it was like the
bougie relative
bougier
that brought
Little
the
Debbie's
Entenmann.
or something. Yeah, like it was a bougier like Little Debbie's or
Yeah,
one of those kind of brands. Intimates it was that
yeah,
brand when I was a kid.
yeah.
So
It's like Sarah Lee is good, but if I find an Entenmann's pound cake, I'm
yeah,
smashing it. I'm
mhm,
smashing that shit, y'all.
yeah.
Man. But yes, that's I gave it 4 blunts. I should have gave it 5. I didn't know. You know, I
Well, I
didn't.
mean, I definitely want to try because you made it sound really good. So
Hmm. Yeah,
I
I believe I got them at Smith's.
okay.
Don't quote me on that. I just um
I'm sure I can find it.
yeah, you'll find it. Yeah, you'll find it. Because I'm sure it was at Smith's. That's cool. I like that. Four blunts. Now let us know in the comments what you have been snacking on. What's your favorite go-to munchie? You know what I mean? Y'all, you know, I can tell you right now, when it comes to munchies, oh my God. I got a snack bag. Have you ever been to Eddie World?
Any World?
Eddie World out at Yermo, the
Oh
old
no,
guy store
I
with the big
see
ice
it.
cream.
Yeah, I see it all the time. No, I think I did stop there one time. On the last. I think we had. I think I stopped there for a bathroom break, but it was closed. I think that was during the pandemic. That was the last
Okay,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So, but I've never
they
been
have,
in there. But I've always passed it up, and I was like, I should go in there one day.
you have to stop and go in there. They
Yeah.
sell bulk candy or candy in the bags. I mean, like chocolates. They got everything you can imagine. They even got some of the old school candies in there.
Oh,
I'm gonna do a review on some stuff because I did get some chocolates. I did get some things from there. Um, I got a bag of turtles, like a 1 pound bag of turtles for like $18.
I
And these
love
are
turkey.
no, they're not name brand turtles, but they taste
Oh,
just as good.
yeah.
They was fire. So
I
I make it. It's a thing now. I got to stop at Eddie World. Anytime I'm coming down that highway now,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
at Eddie World and get it cracking up in there.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not thinking that might be a day trip kind of thing. Just
yeah,
go,
yes,
go
yeah.
down
It,
there.
it could be a morning or an afternoon trip because it's only two hours to get out there. Um,
Yeah,
and that's in Yermo. That's called Eddie World, y'all. I'm sorry, I got a little off there, but y'all, we are at the top of the hour. And as we always say, 420 is on its way. So most definitely, y'all get your blaze up. And like I said, we might just get on here and go live from where we at and smoking, y'all.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be something where
something
there's
we
a lot of money, so and everybody knows my name. So yeah,
exactly. So we want to thank everybody for watching and smoking with us. Before we get out of here, I know tomorrow is 420, and I know a lot of us smoke for our mental health. But if you are in trouble and you feel you're in crisis and thinking about contemplating suicide, make sure you pick up that phone
yeah,
and dial or text 988 and get the help you need. I want to talk with you, not about you. Tomorrow it's a holiday for me, y'all. I'm not gonna even lie. It's a
right.
holiday to me. And so I want everybody, whatever you do, celebrate it safely.
Please,
Know your limits.
responsibly,
Yeah.
responsibly.
Blaze responsibly, y'all. Please blaze responsibly.
Call your Ubers.
Call your Ubers. I
Yeah,
will be working tomorrow night. I will be sober. If I have any friends out there who are watching, hey, if y'all need that ride, just holla at me. I want to make sure you get home safe.
yeah.
Um, some people think, oh, weed doesn't do that. I can tell you it does.
It
Um,
can.
it can. You can be involved in accidents. You can same way as if any other impaired driver. So
Yeah,
definitely, y'all, if y'all need to get a ride, get an Uber, call a friend, take a friend, and don't pick the friend who's just less high, y'all. Don't do that. You know, don't don't, don't
don't
pick the
call
friend.
me because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be happy.
So if you do smoke somewhere, smoke for a while, then know your limits, y'all.
Yes.
But we about to jet out of here. This is the beautiful Miss Candy with an X. I am Big Brother Boss, aka the Funky Monk. We are the Aging Potheads here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock to entertain y'all with the hot shit. We get into a lot of celebrity news, a lot of serious shit, but most of all, we are smoking and we just talking shit here, y'all.
We just
So
talk.
it's like we always say, enjoy 420, meditate and medicate. Until next time, my friends, stay lifted. Happy 420. Good night,
Bye,
y'all.
guys.